pay close to that for less food. It's a very obviously casual event. We don't expect people to get dressed up and drip butter all over themselves.
That's what lobster bibs are for, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. And we have a silent auction and a Chinese silent auction. And we have two seatings, one at 5 p.m. and one at 7 p.m. And it is at the Charles McIntosh Building in Dade City, or the American Legion Hall, as it's also known. And tickets are available. They can contact my office at 352-521-3358. And they can either give us their credit card number or send us a check, and we will pop the tickets in the mail and save them some seats.
Cool. Sounds really good. Now the benefits, the proceeds, they benefit what organization? I want you to tell us a little bit about who you're with.
Sunrise Domestic and Sexual Violence Center, and we have been in business for about 28 years. We provide shelter, counseling, legal advocacy, case management for victims of domestic and sexual violence. They can stay in shelter for up to 6 weeks, and not to say that we throw them out at the end of 6 weeks if things haven't come together for them. But generally speaking, they can pull things together, albeit in this economy it's a little bit harder for folks to do that. And our chief goal is to empower these women to move on with their lives and be independent of controlling men, which is what domestic violence is all about. It's about power and control, and to keep the women and the kids safe. Unfortunately, last year in East Pasco, 44% of our homicides were domestic violence. And and half of those were in East Pasco, right outside of Dade City, right in our backyard. And we have the smaller population of the county versus the west side, so that was really kind of bizarre. But that is our fundraiser. That is what the fundraiser is going to be supporting or helping to support. We depend primarily on grants, state, federal, private, and then our fundraisers. And of course, in this economy, things have been tough this year.
I bet it's tough.
I've been there for 24 years, and this has been the worst year I've ever seen. We were close to running in the red.
Oh, sorry.
And,
do people like mail donations in and stuff? I mean, I'm sure
they
you're...
certainly can, to P.O. Box 928, Dade City 33526. They are tax deductible.
I was just going to ask that. It's actually tax deductible, correct? So it's a good place. You know your money's going someplace good.
Oh, definitely, and it's a needed service. I mean, could you imagine if we didn't have them, and it's up 44% in just Pasco? I mean...
Yeah, that's a shame.
It's critical.
The stats are up and the money's down,
Yeah.
That's bad.
Absolutely. This organization is just critical.
Is that how they would get a hold of you? You probably can't give a location or anything because of the sensitive nature, but how would they actually get a hold of you if they needed you?
If they need services, they can call our hotline, which is 352-521-3120, and a trained counselor responds to the phone call and will walk them through whatever their issue is. They may just want to come in for some counseling. We safety plan with everybody that calls, whether or not they're coming in for services, so that they know what they can do to keep themselves safe from their abuser. But then if they need other services, we try and arrange for the counseling services as quickly as possible, hopefully within 48 hours if we can get them in. We don't like to keep them waiting because of the lethality factor so many times. They may just need some legal advocacy. They may be applying for a domestic violence injunction. Well, that's a lot of big paperwork, and courtrooms are very scary to people that have never been in one, and that whole process. So we go with them step by step. We help them fill out all the paperwork. We go to the court hearings with them and basically hold their hand. If it becomes a criminal case, we go to the invest at the state attorneys with them. We're there as their support system.
From start to finish.
From start to finish.
Can you help them if there was a girl who came in my office a few weeks ago, and her abuser stole her purse with all of her documents, ID,
Sure.
everything in it.
Classic.
And I was wondering.
Talk about control.
Right, exactly.
That's classic. That happens
She
a
couldn't
lot.
drive anywhere. She couldn't do anything. I mean, this poor girl was helpless, and I felt terrible for her. She was hysterical in my office, and really what she was looking for from me was just a notary. And I wondered if there was some,
Oh, absolutely,
you
yeah.
handle that as well.
Yeah, no, if she was willing to take it through the court system, we certainly could have done that.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause she was afraid of him taking the kids. At that point, she did have all 3 kids.
If you have contact with her again or anyone, please have them call us.
Okay,
If
good.
there's a thought in your mind that Sunrise can help, pick up the
Pick up
phone
the
or
phone
give
and
them,
ask.
give them our phone
Oh,
number.
good.
And the number again?
352-521-3120. And we service basically all of East Pasco, and we actually run into Ridge Manor, East Hernando. There is a center in Hernando County, but it's on the other side of the county. So for some folks, we're really closer than the Dawn Center is. And we trade participants back and forth with all the different centers. There are 42 centers in the state. And sometimes to keep them safe, they need to get out of Dodge and go to another county.
I do
Yeah.
have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I know you're focusing, and it is because of past experience that I've had for someone else, but I know you keep focusing on the abused woman, but now, there has been women that has abused a man.
Yes,
What
there
are you
have.
gonna do with that? Will you do anything
Oh,
for
yeah.
a man?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely, and I'm glad you brought that up. The focus for so many years was just on women
On women,
because that was
exactly.
the predominant. But you're right, there has been an uptick in men being
abuse.
abused. And we provide all the services, same services to men except for shelter.
Okay.
Our shelter, the way it's designed, it would not be wise to have a man in there, right?
Well, it takes so hard for a man to ask for help if he's
Exactly.
been getting beat by a woman.
Yes.
Man is man, but
Yes, their
They are-
egos are a little different.
yeah.
And oftentimes they don't need shelter because they do have money, they do have a vehicle, they may not have the kids. But if they do need shelter, then what we do is we have an arrangement with a local hotel
Okay.
that we can put them up. And then there are several centers in the surrounding counties that do have the capacity to shelter male victims.
Okay.
So usually we just have to put them up maybe for a night in the hotel, and then we can make arrangements to transfer them to one of the other domestic violence centers. But all the other services, the counseling, the legal advocacy, case management, all of that we provide to male victims.
Okay, good.
And we're a dual center. We provide sexual assault services too, whether it's male or female.
That's what you need to make sure, because people need to know that, because he didn't know that.
Yeah.
And he could, it got to the point, every time, she hit him with a frying pan one time, and he just stood there and took it. But how many times do you stand there and take it?
No.
And that is also, I know we talk about, because I have been, whatever in the past, in abusive relationships, but yet, you look at these men that are getting abused too, and people don't want to realize, okay, men's getting it done too, just as much as women, but we focus on the woman.
Well, it's not as much as women.
Let's hope not.
Well,
It's not noticeable.
Because, things don't always get told until
Right.
after the fact.
Right.
So I just want to make sure that it's for both male and female.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What is the actual percentage? Can you put your finger on a percentage of how many male victims?
National statistics say it's around 92% female victims versus 8%
About
male
8%.
victims. But again,
They're
as
not
she
like
pointed
breaks
out,
down.
in both cases, there are a lot of unreported
Right.
cases. And in most cases, as we know with the local homicides,